Hey guys, Yulia here. So today I will be planting caladiums that I started from corms a couple of months ago, and I will be planting them under these beautiful river birch trees that we have at the corner of our property. Now these birch trees were planted here before we moved into the house, and we're sort of have seen them mature, and they are a beautiful native tree to eastern United States, gorgeous canopy, sort of like a weeping structure, and they also have a beautiful bark that adds that winter interest to your garden. But they have one big downside, is that they're extremely competitive to anything that grows under them. So they compete for nutrients and water. So there are very few plants that can grow under these trees. And long time ago, when we moved into this house, we decided to plant euonymus. And it's been a quite pretty pairing. The euonymus is an evergreen. It is not that fast growing. So it's been great so far, but I thought that this whole composition could benefit from a little structure. So I put these pots over here where I will be planting the caladiums. These pots I have been collecting over the years. This is definitely not one-time purchase. I have been buying them at garage sales and store clearances, but I have been going with one theme. They have these green and blue colors, so they're kind of go together, and you don't have to have exactly the same pots. As long as they have a sameness to them or a coherence, then your whole composition will make sense. And the caladiums that I grew for this spot are all in lighter colors, so it will be the unifying element for this composition. Now, before I start planting, I just wanted to go over quickly on how to plant containers 101. Now, the first thing is, the most important thing is make sure that your containers have a hole in them. Now, these here had holes in them when I bought them. If you buy one and it doesn't have a hole, make sure you drill one. Secondly, if you're planting anything under trees, make sure that your container is elevated. You can use pot feet, which you can buy in the store. In this case, I just used a set of these bricks or pavers. And for the little ones, for the little pots, I just used 2 pavers. For this one here, I used 3. But what it accomplishes, it makes certain that your drainage is clear, and also that the tree roots do not invade your containers. That is a huge issue, and trust me, I learned it from personal experience. A lot of times when you plant your pots directly on the ground where you have your tree ring, the roots just invade the pot. They actually can pop the pot. They use the container nutrients and water, so definitely make sure that they elevate it. Now, we know that the potting soil can be expensive, and also containers filled with soil can be really, really heavy. So what you can do sometimes is fill in the bottom of your pots with empty plastic pots. But what I do, I actually fill in bottom of my containers with weeds, because what happens over the season, these weeds will biodegrade and actually add a lot of nutrients to the soil. All right guys, so these plants are planted and I love how this turned out. So if I were to plant these plants straight in the ground, they wouldn't stand a chance competing with this river birch for nutrients and water. But in these containers, they have their own water, they have their own nutrients, and I love that they're elevated off the ground so I can appreciate their foliage. That is absolutely stunning. So another thing that I love is this 7 pots right here. So scale in the garden is very important. And if I were to put just one container here, it would just look kind of silly because this is a quite large space to populate with plants. But if you do have a smaller space, one container may work for you. Anyway, I am loving this. I will be enjoying this for the rest of the summer. I do not have irrigation here, so I will be watering these containers once a week or maybe every other week, because we get consistent rains here in New Jersey, and I will be fertilizing these plants once a week. Other than that, they're very low care, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video and learned something new. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, consider subscribing. I would love to stay in touch with you, and I will see you next time. Thanks. Bye.